I tried to survive the emptiness after Richard died. But everything changed the night Caleb touched my hand. And didn't let go. I told myself it was wrong. He told me it was real. And when he came back a year later, stood in my doorway, and whispered, "I still want you," my whole world shifted. And I didn't stop him. Welcome to Blind's Thoughts. Please don't forget to subscribe and comment. The house felt different ever since Richard Turner's funeral. Too still. Too wide. The kind of quiet that pressed against your ribs. I'd lived here for almost 16 years, filling every room with routines, birthday decorations, burnt cookies, and late-night conversations. But when he was gone, even the air changed. Every picture frame felt heavier. Every hallway felt longer. And then there was his son, Caleb Turner, 23 years old, thoughtful, protective. Someone who carried grief in his shoulders but still found a way to check on me every morning as if it were his duty. He wasn't my son by blood, not even close. But life had a way of creating connections that didn't follow biology. After the funeral, I told him to go back to college. He didn't. "I'm not leaving you here alone," he said. "Not yet." At the time I thought he was just being kind. But as the days passed, as we cooked dinner together and watched the news in silence, something warm and complicated began to breathe between us. One night, I found him in the kitchen, barefoot, leaning over the counter with a mug of tea in his hands. The dim light softened his face, catching the beginnings of stubble on his jaw. "You're not sleeping either?" he asked quietly. I shook my head. "It's hard to shut my mind off." "Yeah," he whispered. "I know the feeling." His eyes lifted to mine, slow, deep, searching. It lasted longer than it should have. I felt heat rush through me, surprising and unwelcome and way too familiar. I quickly looked away. He didn't. "Can I ask you something?" he said. "Of course." His throat bobbed. "Do you ever feel guilty for wanting something good again? Even when it's too soon?" Froze. He wasn't asking about sleep. Before I could respond, his hand brushed mine on the counter. Slow, intentional, trembling. A shiver raced up my arm. I didn't move. Neither did he. It was the closest we had ever been. And then he stepped back as if terrified of what he'd almost done. "Good night," he whispered and walked out. But the moment stayed with me long after he left the kitchen. Days passed. The distance between us didn't shrink, but it didn't grow either. It just hovered warm and charged, waiting for something to break. It happened on a rainy afternoon. I was folding laundry when Caleb knocked softly on my doorframe. "You okay?" he asked. "I think so," I replied, though my voice was shaky. He entered the room, slow and uncertain, and sat beside me on the bed. The rain pattered against the windows, sealing us into a world of soft gray and unspoken truths. "You don't have to pretend with me," he murmured. "Not anymore." The tenderness in his voice broke something in my chest. Without thinking, I leaned into him. His arm immediately circled my back, pulling me close, steadying me. Felt natural. Too natural. His breath warmed my forehead as he whispered, "I don't want you to hurt alone." I pulled back slightly, meeting his gaze. "Caleb, what are we doing?" He cupped the side of my face with careful, gentle fingers. "Something I can't seem to stop thinking about," he confessed. His thumb brushed my cheek. My heart stuttered. "Tell me to walk away," he whispered. "And I will." But I didn't. I closed my eyes and let the moment linger between us, full of warmth and fear and longing that neither of us dared to name out loud. He didn't push further. He didn't cross any lines. He simply held my hands in his, and we stayed like that. Quiet, close, letting something fragile and forbidden bloom slowly. Weeks later, he approached me with a letter in his hand. A tech internship in Seattle. A dream. "I don't want to leave you," he said softly. "Not when things feel different. You have to go, I whispered. Your life is calling you forward. His jaw tensed. And what about us? I stepped closer, placing my palm against his chest. His heartbeat thudded beneath my hand. This isn't the end, I said. It's the beginning of who you're becoming. He leaned his forehead against mine, eyes closed, breathing me in as if memorizing the moment. I'll come back, Caleb murmured. I promise. And he did. A year later he walked through the door, stronger, steadier, more certain of himself. He set his suitcase down and crossed the room in seconds, stopping right in front of me. You still feel it too, he said softly, not asking, knowing. When his hand found mine, it wasn't hesitant anymore. This time I didn't step away. Sometimes love grows in the quiet cracks left behind by loss. Sometimes it finds two people when they're fragile and shapes something stronger than either expected. And when it's real, you feel it before you dare to speak it. I felt it the moment he came home. And I wasn't afraid of it anymore. Thanks for everything. I hope you are enjoying this. Thanks for your precious time.